But if you're tuned in ready, let me know that you can hear me so I'm not talking to myself. The only way I can tell whether the microphone is working correctly or not. We're just waiting for the teams to join us. And as mentioned on the screen, this is the UAE Premiership semi-final up here on pitch 7 at the Sevens, between Dubai Exiles as the home team and Jebel Ali Dragons. Welcome, Yusuf. Nice to have you on here nice and early. And as ever, the lovely Betty Davis, mother of David Genn, Dubai Exiles number 2, who religiously joins us on every broadcast and no doubt gives her son a little bit of stick of all the things that he did wrong. Tomorrow, I'd like to think occasionally that you may have something nice to say about your son also. But you can keep those things to yourself. So as we're just waiting for the teams to join us, some lovely weather up here at the Sevens this afternoon. Bit blustery, but it is that time of day. We seem to get the bluster starting around about 4 o'clock. Usually disappears around about 6. Sun just coming down behind the main pitch 1 Sevens stadium. As you can see by the length of the shadows on the pitch, it is lying quite low. But after about half an hour we should be okay, as Dragons making themselves known as they enter the arena this afternoon. Dragons in blue, Exiles in black. Nice clear day, hopefully no signal issues with the technology. And here come Exiles now, as you can hear the crowd. Exiles being led onto the pitch by their captain this afternoon, Peter Killian, a teacher here in Dubai from South Africa. And Peter Killian, number 1, will be joined on the front row to start the game with David Genn at number 2 and Mr. Tough, Brad Tough, at number 3. It does look like the toss has been done. Exiles will be kicking off. And it is quite a cross-field kick with that ball. No one really gaining a pace advantage, but it is blowing from the far side to the near side of the pitch. As the whistle goes, and there is the kick, picked up straight away by the winger there from Exiles. I don't think anyone was expecting that to happen. Exiles proving themselves more than worthy in the front pack over the last few games in the Premiership this season. Connor Kennedy there being thrown to ground. Calls from Dragons. Number 14 from Dragons there. Must be a BMW driver acting like that so early in the game. And it's a good long defensive kick there from the Dragons, and they have a line out now just outside the Exiles 22. Some great support up here at the clubhouse. And great to see the Minion youth sat quietly with the scoreboard this afternoon on the far side of the pitch. As ever. Dragons now with the throw. Spoilt there by Exiles and recovering the ball, and seem to have lost it possibly. Knock on clearly seen by the match official. It's going to be a scrum down and a Dragons ball. So we're just having a little bit of attention given to the Exiles in the 16 shirt. Can't quite see from here who that is. I think possibly John Botes, usually recognisable by the big black scrum hat. Doesn't seem to be wearing it today. Maybe looking for a bit more streamline. So just outside the Exiles 22 now, scrum down, Dragons ball. And match official looking for a reset. Interesting stat that after the game, when I chop up all the videos and take out all the dead ball, scrum resets, ball out of play, etc., the actual time of the games being played can differ anything from 38 minutes to 42 minutes of actual play. So if you consider that there's around about 30 minutes of play that actually is just dead ball. Form an orderly queue for more interesting facts. That's a nice high ball. Bit of a scramble for it, but it's been picked up there. Exiles with the possession now. Brad Tuff. John giving the ball to Brad Uwaku. Brad been quite quiet in the centre in the last few games. Not the Brad that we know that can carry the ball well and pretty much puncture any defensive line. Hopefully we see more of Brad evolved in the coming sessions of this game. And the ball bouncing very nicely there for Exiles as they excuse me, pushing Dragons back inside their 22 for the first time of this game. Comfortably taken by Dragons. The ball kicker retreating back. Over the top, Connor Kennedy and number 11 both waiting patiently for the catch. Connor deciding to go for a little canter straight into Dragons' defence, picked up there by Coral Thomas, the Exile scrum half. And the chip through there. And picked up well. Oh, and just loses the ball in the tap. Knocking it forward. It's going to be a scrum down. Dragons ball. Great vision there. He saw a chance. There was nobody really covering, but just getting caught in the process of running through the Dragons defence, and unfortunately just losing the ball to ground. And already we're at the 7-minute mark, 7 minutes played of this first half of this UAE Premiership semi-final. Dragons now off the back of the scrum. And the ball has gone straight into the side of the park. Pushing themselves about 25 metres forward from where they were. But Exiles with the upper hand as they have the throw in. David Gain with his first throw of the afternoon. And as the young Mrs. Davis says, hopefully we'll get some straight arrows from David this afternoon. Bit of a mixed bag the last few games. Started off really strong the second half of the season. And looking for the back there, picked up lovely by John Donnan, the Northern Irishman. And these drives we've seen from Exiles working so well. He looks for the crossfield kick. It's just being poked too far, goes over the dead ball line. I believe it was advantage possibly being played as the ball gets pulled back. So worth the attempt. You never know what's going to happen from a ball like that. If your luck's in, you collect the ball and it's a 5. Match official Mr. Simon Dodd having a chat with the Dragons. I can't quite see from here. If it's not Mr. Simon Dodd, I apologise, but I think it is. Exiles looking for the extra metres. They got a strong line out and they know how to use it. All eyes on David Gain, number 2, yet again. David Gain, teacher at Nord Anglia School, also one of the club sponsors here at Dubai Exiles. And the ball this time going to the back and picked up by Dragons, not going quite to plan this time. And a thumping run there from the Dragon as he really got themselves out of trouble. Dragons now releasing the ball, looking at their back line play for the first time this afternoon. As we just now cross the halfway line back into Exiles territory. Winning a penalty in the process. Wow, fantastic kick there from the Dragons. Really pushing Exiles back as it takes them up to their 5-metre line, and for this first time in this game, Exiles are going to feel a little bit of defensive pressure. Dragons just taking their time as they have a little bit of a conversation of how they're going to play this. Exiles need to be careful through the middle. We know that that's how most teams have been scoring their tries in the last few games. A little bit of a defensive weakness, but hopefully they've been working on that in training. They've been training hard over the last few weeks, with no games being played. I say that, they did play a game last week as they played against Abu Dhabi Harlequins. Unfortunately I wasn't able to make it. Well, they won with quite a try count to Harlequins 1. And the knock-on from Exiles, gifting Dragons a scrum. And we'll just pause the timer while the match official converses with his assistant referee. Maybe something was seen. It does now look like the scrum has been handed back to Exiles from the previous decision. The shirt there of Coral Thomas, the Exiles scrum half. Coral coming from Namibia, or holds a Namibian passport. And we just have an injury call. An opportunity now for both teams to take on some water. It is warm out there today. The temperature's really turning over the last 10 or 12 days. Now the dizzy heights of 31, 32 being reached. Slightly cooler up here at the stadium this afternoon, maybe around about 28. Probably dip down to about 23 by the end of the game. We're just waiting for the sunshine, or the sun, to dip behind pitch 1 grandstand. We can see the shadows getting longer and longer as it's getting lower and lower. As we go again, Coral Thomas with the put in. Radawaku, some solid running there. Peter Killian. Picked up there by Pele. Great offload yet again. He's looking left and right. Deciding to just slow it down a little bit. Gives the ball to Botez. Taking the ball to ground. Great thumping stop there from the Dragons defence. And the ball's released to the wingers. Shouldn't be a problem as Exiles put 5 on the edge of the park. And there it is for the first try of this afternoon at this UAE semi-final. And the first 5, first blood to the Exiles. Some great handiwork. Apele starting the move in the centre of the park. A great offload, keeping the ball alive. Boats going to ground. And as the ball came out the back, flying it to the wing, just takes it around the edge of the park and there's nobody there to stop him on this occasion. 5 points Exiles. Now to get this ball high, it's going to hang in the wind slightly and carry. Not an easy kick. Also looking into the sun. There's plenty of welly on it. Oh, and it hits the post and it goes inside. Both flags being raised by the match officials. Fantastic kick and a little bit of luck. Exiles take the extra 2. So with 16 minutes played of this first half, up here at the Sevens, Dubai Exiles 7, Dragons 0. Well taken there by the Exiles, number 7. Caught on the move. Winning a penalty. And here we go. Pick on John time. Botes turning away. Exiles still have the penalty, nothing's changed. And they're still bitching at each other. And the ball is high and it's made ground. And the Mini and Youth ball boys out in force around the pitch as well. Today is the scoreboard. David again with another throw. Didn't quite make where it's at target in the previous, but it does this time. And Brad with a great deep pass. Exiles working around the edge of the park. Peter Killian. I can't see from the light. I think that was Brad. Exiles with another opportunity around the edge of the park. And it looks like it's gone into touch. So close. Just being knocked into the side of the park on the 5 metre line. Great effort again from Exiles. It's going to be a Dragons throw. And it's been knocked backwards. Picked up by, I think, Apele. Oh, great quick pass there from Peter Killian, keeping the ball alive, but John Donnan trying to keep the ball alive on the other side. David Genn. Exiles desperately trying to puncture the Dragons defence. The Dragons defence holding up well. Calls of direction from Jacques Bernardi, the Exiles coach and director of rugby here at Dubai Exiles. Big Shane losing the ball. Now it's Dragons' chance to get themselves out of trouble. They've got possession. Dragons still with possession, getting edging closer to their 22. And now the big kick. Now in the hands of Connor Kennedy as he looks to poke it through himself and kicks it straight into touch. The little belt's coming off nicely. Just outside the Dragons 22. And we're going to have some medical attention on the pitch. Not sure if the match official's seen it just yet, and he has now. Time off. Both teams throwing bodies on the line here up at the Sevens this afternoon. And it's team captain Peter Killian having some TLC. Opportunity for both clubs, I think, given a water break. It is hot out there on the park this afternoon. Jack Bernardi giving some direction to the squad. Great to see some positive running coming back to Bradawaku from Kenya. As I said, it's been a bit flat the last few weeks. However, showing a few signs that his mojo back. And if anyone's excited to see Matthew Mills there in the 24 jersey, potentially could be his first return back of this second part of the season, having had an injury to his shoulder, and it will be great to see him back on the field. Matthew Mills, UAE international and part of the Exiles pack. Dragons now with the ball. And after the scrap for the ball, Exiles come off with the possession. Pele in the number 6 working double time. Exiles looking for the 3 points now. It's struck well. Flags raised. There's 3. Taking Exiles tally to 10. Dragons now with the restart. 23 minutes into this first half. And too many people watching the ball. And a lovely little bounce just inside the line going out. Great restart kick from Dragons, pushing Exiles back to the 22. Exiles will have the put in. No problem there, picked up comfortably. Exiles, are they going to run the ball out? And there goes Brad. Kick is nice and high, it's hanging. Oh, brilliant take there from the Dragon. And chips the ball through and picks it up as well. I don't think anyone expected that as Dragons make their move now, taking themselves inside the Exiles 22. Ball going out wide but not really going to anybody, but it's been picked up quickly. Opportunity for Dragons now. Great work there from the Dragons. And the ball simply attempted to be kicked into touch, doesn't quite make it. And Dragons are on fire yet again through the centre of the park. This is where Exiles tend to fail in that defensively. Another missed pass there from the Dragons. That's cost them twice in as many minutes. Exiles with the turnover. And the long pass out wide. Oh, and the missed kick from the Dragons. Still disrupting the play, so not a bad thing. But not quite, I think, what he intended to happen. And the clock is off for... I didn't even need to put my little ambulance on because I left it on from last time. Both teams just having some medical attention, opportunity to take on board some more water. Some familiar faces on the bench this afternoon. As I said, Matthew Mills is there, Lucas Waddington, and I believe I can see Durant Gerber. No doubt Durant is on for the pasta after the game. Exiles still receiving treatment. And that is the end of doctors and nurses. David Gare now with the throw for Exiles. And another long ball picked up comfortably there by John Donnan into the hands of Apele, number 6. Apele being another exciting ball carrier, whose wife gave birth earlier in the week this week. Congratulations. And to celebrate, he's come to play a game of rugby here at the Sevens with his teammates. With his brother Waku. Peter Killian takes it back inside. Connor Kennedy was the man that picked up the ball. Exiles still with the ball. Exiles, number 10, Andre. Trying to take and dance the ball through, not coming on this occasion. And we'll come back for an earlier infringement. No advantage coming from the earlier knock-on. Scrum down, Exiles ball. Scrum down now, just a little outside of the Dragons 22. Coral with the put in, winning a penalty. Options here with as he'll kick to the edge of the park. David again now with a throw. He's looking for John. Catches him. And here comes the drive. A few more bodies need to get involved as they're pushing Dragons back, edging closer to the line. 2 meters, 1 meter. And the ball is down. Match official well placed to see Exiles pick up another 5. And if I knew who it was, I'd tell you the ball try scorer being Mr. Jean Botes, whose try tally in this second half of the season continues to grow. Exiles now with 15 on the board and a possibility of the 2. Struck well, but just pulled it to the left of the post. No further points. Dragons now for the restart. Just over 8 minutes left to play in this first half. Also great to see the support for Dragons up here at the Sevens as their away game. Peppered along the edge of the ground this afternoon. Dragons now with the restart. And again, for the second time, Exiles completely lose the ball. Either a miscommunication or the sun, which is very low right now. It's just up there on top of, coming over the top of the grandstand, and they all would have been looking directly at it. However, no excuses. Dragons with the line out on the Exiles 22. And it's been recovered well by Mr. John Donnan, the Northern Irishman. And the momentum with his Exiles once more. Peter Killian looking to push the ball wide. Bit of a miss pass, bit of a miss pickup. No advantage coming, so it's going to be brought back across to the other side of the field of play. I believe it's Exiles' ball for the high tackle on John Donnan as he tried to thump his way through the Dragons' defence. And the ball failing to make touch. Dragons will look to push this ball wide as possible. They go for the kick instead. Something tells me they should have just kept on, hold on to it. It's a high ball. It's been recovered somehow by Exiles. They really shouldn't have been on the end of that ball, but they find themselves on it as Pele tries to run himself through. Brad with the quick flick off, doesn't go where it's supposed to have gone, and Dragons recover the ball yet again. And the team tackle and a knock on coming from the Dragons, giving Exiles a scrum down, and the clock is off for another injury. And it's Dave again. Receiving treatment on what could possibly be broken nail, some nail varnish maybe missing. He says, "I'm okay, but it can wait till later." We rejoin. Scrum down, Exiles ball. Around about 5 minutes left of this first half. UAE Premiership semi-final clash at the Sevens. Grant throws it deep, and he just spills the ball. Picked up well by Dragons, and an opportunity now. Still fighting his way through, eventually being pulled down. On a great attempt there at a line through the centre of the Exiles defence. Dragons picking themselves up a penalty just inside the Exiles 22. Dragons now from the back of the scrum. Oh, and he knocks it forward. And the handling error gifting Exiles an easy recovery of possession. Great control there. As they come for a second time. They got momentum on their side, and he's still got a player to his right. And decides to slam himself into the Exiles defence, but they keep the ball. And Botez decides to remove his clothes. Dragons with the penalty. And they're choosing the scrum. 5 metres inside the 22. And just like that, Exiles winning possession straight back. So the knock-on coming on from Dragons. Gifting Exiles the scrum. Coral Thomas now. And as we're inside the final minute of this half, as I have it on the clock, Exiles 15, Dragons yet to score. Dragons notorious for their recovery in second halves, so by no means is this going to be an easy win for Exiles, if it should be. Dragons with plenty of manpower on the bench as finishers. Dragons collecting the scrum, gives a nice simple kick into the side of the park, and that's the end of the first half here of the UAE Premiership semi-final between Exiles and Dragons. Exiles 15, Dragons yet to score. We will see you after a quick break. Don't go away.
To everyone who only sees the worst, we say, look closer. Open your eyes to all that's good. 80 years of keeping people safe has sharpened our eyes to see more than most. And when we're protecting people, premises, and property, our experience helps us spot what others miss. Potential. Positivity, progress. That's what we protect today, and it's how we protect tomorrow. Because we see what really matters. We see who we really help. We see how life can be when the world feels secure. Securitas. See a different world.
Well, one thing that we do really well here in the UAE is have extremely short half-time breaks. That one being around about 4 minutes long. But we undergo the second half. And if you're just joining us, Exiles 15, Dragons yet to score. Exiles with a try conversion penalty and the second try to give their 15. All to play for, 15 points is nothing. A bad spell for Exiles allows Dragons to, or enables Dragons to come back into the game. No outright winner of this match with 40 minutes left to play up here on pitch 7 at the Sevens. And a comfortable kick, taking the ball right up to the centre of the park. Just out of the reach. Pele tried something special and wasn't able to capitalise on anything there, but Exiles do pick up the ball as Exiles 10 now. Flicks the ball out the back, picked up there by John Donnan, who also puts it wide. The awkward bounce, no problem. Dragons picking up the ball, but the whistle has gone. Knock on coming from Exiles. Scrum down, Dragons ball. Matthew Mills, I can see him pacing on the edge of the park, no doubt rearing to go, desperately wanting to get back into the Exiles team. Lucas, Taz, they're all down there. Great to see such a strong bench of finishers. And it looks like there's a possibility of a manpower change. Matthew Mills in this season signing, also from Abu Dhabi Harlequins, getting ready to go, but the ball is out. Oh, fantastic handwork there from Dragons. They got the momentum, they got people on the edge of the park as well. Great tackle from Brad. And couldn't quite see behind the blue tent, but holding on. Some great running from Dragons this afternoon, but just unfortunately unable to close the effort. Either a missed pass or a drop ball. Just haven't quite got that finish in the first 45 minutes of this contest. And it does look like some substitutions have been made. Matthew Mills, I can see, has now taken the park for his first game in the second half of this season. David Genn also being rested. So a switch at the front of the pack for Exiles. Let's see what happens. Oh, the ball did go backwards. Well, he called it for a forward, but from here and we're dead on, it did look like the ball had gone backwards, but the match officials ruling sticks, no problem. Dragons with the scrum. And the physio is on the field, so the time has been stopped. Problems in the formation. Safety first means a reset. And the boot of Dragons sending it deep inside the Exiles 22. Come to be picked up there by Connor Kennedy, who returns the kick. Oh, and the awkward bounce skipping underneath his feet. A chance for a bit of pressure from Exiles. Calls that the ball was a forward pass. Couldn't quite see from my angle. And it's going to be a line out. Starting to cool down a little bit now at the sevens as the sun just dips, so no one's going to be blinded by the sunlight. Temperatures dipping under 30. And a beautiful long pass straight to the back of the line. Brad Tuff just taking the ball to hand. John Botez, they're struggling to get the big man down. Places it well. Matthew Mills on the ball. Straight in. Rolling that ball forward. Exiles winning themselves a penalty. Young Alfie Wilson there in the 14 shirt, getting dragged into that. Picked up by Botez off the back of the scrum, gaining an extra 3 or 4 yards. Coral to Donnan. Coral again, looking to push the ball wide. He's got one man over. Has he got the legs to get round the edge of the park? He's got one man to stop him. Matthew Mills digging in, getting involved. Bradawaku deciding to use his own legs and graft, taking the ball across the 22 line. And Peter Killian, all front row being involved in this move as Killian just squeezes the ball out the back, picked up by Coral Thomas. Exiles have planted themselves 5 metres off the line. Three metres. 2 metres, no. We're looking for it, but not this time. Another phase. Not sure where he was coming in from the side there. As he squeezes his way through, surely. He just needs to pop it to Alfie, but he gets the ball down, hand raised. And there it is, another 5. And the match official also calling for some of the Dragons. The try still stands. Words look like they need to be had, but he's going to converse again with the assistant referee for something that may or may not have been seen. But in the wider field of play, Exiles preparing to push for a further 2. An opportunity for a cheap break whilst the match official is having his chat. And from Andre, some great dancing through the Dragons' defence. Great forward involvement from the front row there to get the ball as far as it did. And this attempt, after 12 minutes played of this first half, it struck well, there it is, flags raised, 2 points. And with Andres 2, takes Exiles to a total of 22 points, yet to be answered by Dragons. A simple ball to the front, no problem for the big Northern Irishman, comfortably taking the ball. Matthew Mills taking the ball to ground. Andre with a kick, and it's deep. This time no problem for the winger. As he returns the ball, there's 3 back to receive it. Comfortably taken by Andre, who returns it with a lovely high kick. Oh, and he just fumbles it, but it did go forward. And it's not to be. Dragons given the kick. Not quite making the side of the park. This time Andre making short. It takes Exiles outside of their 22. Dragons now with the throw. It was almost spoil. Dragons have the advantage. Exiles knocking the ball on there. No advantage coming as they bring it back. It's going to be a scrum down. Dragons ball for the knock on from Exiles. With 25 minutes left to play of this second half. Still not a comfortable enough scoreline for Exiles to start slowing things down. And we'll have a reset. No, it's always been 22. They were wrong. Small children still learning algebra and all that sort of thing.
A big scrum, Exiles!
Just a quick query on the scoreline, but it's definitely 22 Exiles, Dragons 0.
Yes!
And Exiles winning another penalty. Botez loving that, clapping like a penguin. Simon having a chat with Peter. Still remains Exiles ball. Lucas Waddington warming up. Possible entry into the arena within the next few minutes. And an absolute bullet of a kick. Driving the ball back to the Dragons 22. Exiles throw. Comfortably taken by Botez. Offloaded to John Donnan. Offloaded again to the front row. Taken into the side of the park. Great work from Exiles, great defence by Dragons. And it looks like Peter Killian, the captain, has retired to the bench as Taz in 17 enters the field. The ball's been swiped. Pelly looking for the line. Matthew Mills going in low. And a bit of a fumble. Exiles possession. Taz, first handling of the ball. Pumping the legs. Takes a few more yards. Oh, and the ball bounces, and Dragons now take advantage. Great offload there. And again, Exiles defence coming together quite quickly, knocking them backwards. Exiles recover possession. Brad playing scrum half. And another great strong run from the Exiles front row. Pele being man-marked, not getting the ground he wants. Botez now supported by Mills. Thomas. Andre goes for the kick through. We're looking for the whippersnappers on the edge of the park. Dragons just making it a few yards ahead. Great vision. And that ball, I think, was forward, right on the 5 metre line now, and a careless error by Dragons trying to dig themselves out of trouble. Everyone forward. Connor Kennedy joining the back line. All Exiles team now well inside the Dragons 22. Botez at the back, maybe somebody looking for a big carry. I feel like the Dragons had come round a little bit too quickly there, but wasn't looking the right place there as the cameraman, so can't quite tell you what's going on, but the watch has been stopped by the match official. He's having a quick word with a few of the Dragons players. And as we reach the 63rd minute of this semi-final, it's great to see that no yellow cards have been awarded yet. Nobody wants to be down to 14 on a game such as this. And we'll go for the scrum. Untold pressure on the Dragons now on their 5 metre line. Exile scrum. And as they drive forward, 4 metres, 3 metres. Boats leaves a gap and he goes for it. Absolutely no problem there. And for all the taunting, Botez lets the try speak volumes. Exiles with another 5. Andre lighting the ball up, looking for another 2. As we recap, 64 minutes played, 27 Exiles yet to be answered by Dragons. Botez with his second try of the afternoon. And a great pick and go off the back of the scrum, 4 metres from the line. Strong kick, red flags, that'll do. Another 2. And Durant Gerber joins the field of play. I did have a chat with his lovely wife at half time once I realised that Durant was on the bench, and I got some funny looks, which kind of tells me that it was more Durant's choice than hers. And the knock on, we'll say, coming from Dragons. And we're going to have another injury. Attention, we'll stop the clock. Young Alfie Wilson to the bottom left of your screen, just having a bit of TLC. Alfie Wilson, one of the rising stars of Dubai Exiles, under the leadership of Jacques Bernardi, bringing the youth through the ranks and giving them the opportunity to come and play top tier first team rugby out here in the Emirates. And now Pele deciding that he wants some magic sponge as well. Guys, not here. Scrum down. Dragons ball just inside the Exiles half. Dragons still desperately looking for the first points of the day. And it just takes one puncture of the Exiles defence to send the man on his way. Up to the Exiles 22. The ball gets slooped over the top, finds his man on the edge of the park, but beats one man and almost beats the second. Right up against the side of the park now. Dragons just managing to keep hold of the ball. Inside the Exiles 22 now. Temporary floating just on the outside of it as they move the ball from left to right. And the ball's been ripped, it went loose. And it looks like the knock-on in the rip not going Exiles' way. Dragons find themselves with a scrum down just inside the Exiles 22. And a few manpower changes going on now for the Dragons. A few injuries retiring to the bench. Matthew Mills just letting his counterpart know that he'd rather he stayed on his side of the field.
I need you to take a break down.
And an opportunity for Dragons gone once more. Possession now switching back to Exiles. And Durant Gerber, first kick of the game, comfortably driven into the side of the park. And a short pass, no problem. Exiles now back into Dragon territory. The ball was placed, but nothing coming. Feel maybe that the possession could have gone on, or the advantage could have gone on a little bit longer. Durant now again kicking to touch. Exiles edging themselves closer and closer to the Dragons 22. Exiles throw, nice and long, comfortably taken by John Donnan, but the whistle has blown. And just like that, Exiles gifting Dragons an opportunity to dig themselves out of trouble. A long ball and a bit of football, and we're still waiting to see, but Dragons pick up the loose. And here they go, what a great pass and a kick through. Oh, and it's knocked forward possibly, but Exiles scrambling to try and secure that ball. Great work by Dragons there. And bringing the ball back for what I believe was a knock-on. Dragons with the ball. And a great drive there from Exiles, really showing absolute domination there in the pack. Dragons just weren't able to hold them up at all. Lucas Waddington on for Brad Tuff, really driving the guys off the ball as Durant kicks the ball into touch. A little over 5 minutes left of this UAE Premiership semi-final. Pele just receiving a little bit more treatment. Players really starting to fatigue now. Exiles throw. Oh, and John Donnan up so well. Durant with the chip through. Dragons no doubt will want to run this out with the clock ticking. Exiles finally bringing him down. Dragons with a quick penalty. Exiles need to be careful, and he fumbles. And the knock on there. Dragons with maybe 4 or 5 knock-ons this afternoon that you kind of have to ask yourself what would have come of it if they'd had that momentum behind them and kept on going. Would have it been converted into points? Well, we'll never know. It's going to be a scrum down, Exiles ball. Pele now looking to exit the field. He's had enough. And it does look like he needs a well-deserved rest. Dragons also with a few manpower changes. Certainly be a few sore bodies for both teams after the end of this game today. Botez looked to pick up the ball, but Dragons were up so quickly, didn't quite work out for them as Exiles go for the quick tap penalty, pushing the ball wide. He's got support, taken by the young Alfie Wilson. Is he able to get round the edge of the park as he flicks it back inside? But the flag's raised and a foot went slightly into touch. Great defensive work there from the Dragons. Exiles just unable to use the wheels of Alfie Wilson to get round the edge of the park. But you kind of think and feel that Exiles may be in line in the last few minutes to pick up a further 5 points. Great release there and quick tap penalty from Andre. Dragons with a throw. And it's gone long, and John Donnan gets his arms on the end of it, pats it back. Almost forgot to turn my camera. Bradawaku with a quick pass. He's still got one more on the outside. He picks him up. Dragons almost recovering the ball in the process. But Exiles will be given possession. As Exiles just push that ball wide to the young Exiles player from Sri Lanka. Again, Dragons defence up nice and quick, just halting the Dream as he tried to dance his way through. But another opportunity coming Exiles' way as it looks like we've passed natural time. I'm sure there's a little bit more stoppage yet to play. However, Exiles look like they're going through. And I think that is the 5 that I said that was going to be coming. Exiles increase their lead. 34 on the board. Nowhere really left to go with this match. As the scoreline shows, Exiles 34, Dragons 0. Great work from the Dragons, but just couldn't capitalise on the opportunities they had. A few mistakes in the handling, bringing most of their attempts to a close. Exiles by no means dominating the game. However, the scoreline in their favour. And the kick strong, and the flag's raised. Exiles take the extra 2, and that is the end of this game, the end of this UAE Premiership semi-final up here on pitch 7 at the Sevens. Dubai Exiles 36, Dragons nothing on the scoreboard. Exiles will progress through to the UAE Premiership final. Look out on social media as we look to see who they will be playing between, as the game gets played out between Tigers and Abu Dhabi Harlequins. Nothing set in stone. There's been lots of surprises, lots of interesting results this season. But one thing's for sure, Exiles have made the UAE Premiership final. Thank you very, very much for tuning in and listen to my awful tones. And as I said, look out for on social media for the time, date and place of the UAE Premiership final. I hope that I'm available. I don't know what my wife has already planned for me. I don't even know what date it is. And I should. Anyway, there you have it. I'm off because I've got dinner. Thank you very much. See you soon. Good night.